base relatively safely. It's possible that one or both of these players will set up for a third. We did see JangBi throw down a pylon at the 12 o'clock position. That will serve a dual purpose. That will both give him vision of that area in terms of a shuttle coming in, and it will also set him up to be able to throw down cannons a little bit quicker when he does decide to take that base. Normally you will see players get their forges up after their second base and in between their second and third base, and we do see the forge right now for Horang2. And there's the shuttle for JangBi, and I assume that Horang2's shuttle is just about completed as he is moving on the offensive. His forces are oot and a boot. JangBi is throwing up his Citadel of Adun as well, and JangBi is also pushing out here, so there could be a little bit of a confrontation here. JangBi actually choosing to retreat a little bit. Horang2 needs to actually be a little bit more careful here, as his Reavers are not yet with his forces. His shuttle is coming in now, and if JangBi knew that the Reavers weren't there, I think JangBi would have definitely tried to pick off some of these goons early on. Luckily for Horang2, JangBi did not notice this, did not notice that. And that is a speed shuttle for Horang2, and JangBi is actually ready here for a possible snipe here. 3 Dragoons are in position. Reaver gets dropped. It does get a shot off, and it gets several probes. Looks like it got about 5 probes there. Very nice Scarab there by Horang2, so that's a nice advantage already for Horang2. Getting another Scarab in there, actually able to do half damage to the Dragoon and takes care of... Oh, did it splash out the Reaver? Should have splashed on the Reaver. Maybe it didn't. I didn't actually see that when they clicked on it very, very quickly. I suspect because of how quickly they clicked on it that it didn't actually splash. Usually if it splashed and this was like a significant damage, they would click on it and underscore the shields. Look at this, look at this, there's no shields on this thing, you know? So I'm going to guess that it actually didn't. There's the Forge for JangBi coming up a little bit later, and now you see the Citadel for Horang2. So Horang2 is going to get his upgrade started a little bit earlier, whereas JangBi is going to be able to get Storm out a little bit earlier. So at the next confrontation, if JangBi is able to get Storms, we'll probably see the next confrontation when Horang2 completes +1 and JangBi completes Storm. Those are probably going to be the 2 keys. Whenever these 2 players finish those specific techs, they will probably be pushing out. You can see JangBi's first-person view here. He's got a couple Dark Templars moving across the map. Just going to give him good scouting information. If Horang2 maybe forgot to keep an observer with his group, he could pick off some units. Especially important is when Horang2 actually produces High Templars. He does have that Citadel, and High Templar Archive should be coming up soon. Those DTs, if Horang2 isn't paying attention, could actually pick off High Templars, and that can be absolutely critical. That can just completely change the game if the Dark Templar actually manages to sneak in there and pick off 1 or 2 High Templars. And it looks like JangBi's actually going to use his DT just to be harassive here. Got a couple hits on that Reaver and things like that. But Cannon coming up here, and that's going to end this DT's life after it got a hit on that Reaver and 1 or 2 probe kills. Nothing too bad there. Looks like both players are going to set up their third bases now. I think that Dragoon at the 6 o'clock killed the DT. I think that's what they were pointing at there. That's my guess. There was an observer for Horang2 in that position, so I'm guessing that picked off the DT. And how the observer knew which Dragoon got that kill, I don't know. That's pretty freaking impressive. I'm thinking that they have multiple people watching the game, and like, but even if you had multiple people watching the game, like, how could you communicate? Okay, click on this. There's 4 Dragoons. You know, there's like 3 or 4 Dragoons there. How did they click on the? I don't know. I have no idea. But Korean observers always impress me. I never understand how they do some of the things they do. It's pretty impressive. Looks like the third for JangBi is already up, whereas Horang2's is coming up a little bit later. So this game is evening out in that sense. That now JangBi gets his third up slightly ahead of Horang2, whereas Horang2 got his natural up slightly ahead of JangBi. But Horang2 has gotten those probe kills, and we'll see how significant that is, having those 5 extra probes or so. Both players look like it's evened out pretty good here. We got a shuttle coming out for Horang2, going to come in here for a little bit of harass on the third. It's going to get a Scarab off, and it's either going to dud or maybe get 1 or 2, maybe. Nope, it duds. So no luck there. This shuttle not gonna... Ooh, this shuttle could actually get picked off. JangBi is moving in position to intercept, and he is going to intercept. That shuttle is going down. That shuttle falls with 2 Reavers inside. So Horang2 right now is at a huge military disadvantage. And will JangBi push and try and take advantage right now? He does have those High Templars in the air, well, you know, on the ground, I guess, in play, and he may decide to push, or he could just he could just be trying to get her up just a huge macro advantage as possible. Can't really tell for sure. He's not pushing out, so it looks like he's just going to play the micro game for now and just keep throwing up gateways and keep building up his forces. We do have +1 weapons for JangBi, and for Horang2 we have +1 weapons as well, so those are evened out. I assume that both players have Storm and Energy at this point, so I don't think there's either player really has too much of an advantage, except for the fact that JangBi has those 2 Reavers, and that could really be important here. Both players will have Storms. Horang2 actually morphing four of his High Templars into 2 Archons. That's huge, so he's not going to have the big damage, but he is going to have these Archons, which are going to do really well against the Zealots, and really be able to plow through those Zealots. And if those Zealots for JangBi fall too quickly, that could end up being very important. Both players posturing here, setting up for the engagement, which will be coming shortly. Where will it come? Here we go. There's some Storms from JangBi coming down here, and the Archons for Horang2 are nowhere to be seen, and Storms all over the Coons, all over the Reavers, and some good micro from Horang2 in terms of keeping these Reavers alive. But the first Reaver does go down, and a couple of the Archons do go down for Horang2. Both of them go down. Both players' Archons are all dead. Looks like the Stormers are all dead for both sides, but JangBi has 2 Reavers left, and they have taken almost no damage, doing so much counter damage. These Scarabs for JangBi are just doing so much, and JangBi still got a couple High Templars left as well in the back. Look at that, 7 kills on that Reaver. These Reavers were so critical. Look at how important this is. JangBi was able to micro his Reavers much better than Horang2 and keep them alive, and look at how much damage they're doing. They are the key to this battle. His 2 Reavers just did so much more than Horang2's, and JangBi with a little bit of an error there, losing that Reaver when he absolutely did not need to. But still, he comes out the victor in this battle, and he can definitely go on the offensive if he wishes here. JangBi taking this opportunity to actually throw down a base in the bottom left, going to take a huge macro advantage. If he can get that up and running, that's going to be absolutely huge. He'll be able to produce so many Archons and High Templar if he can get that base up and running. It looks like that shuttle had a DT in it, or was it a High Templar? Looks like it had a Templar of some form. Might be going for a Storm Dropper or something of the sort. Can't tell for sure. And both